There's a little secret I've been hiding from all of you, and it's time to come clean. Brace yourselves, because I have a serious addiction to 1911s. Yes, you heard it right, I've sought treatment and I thought I was cured, but every now and then a temptation comes along that throws me right back into the deep end. It's like my kryptonite. The live-free Armory Apollo 11 has entered the scene, and it's like the ultimate test of my willpower. They're offering a feature-packed 2011 at a price less than $1,000 that is very hard to beat. It's like they're playing a cruel joke on me, knowing I can't resist such a perfect combination of quality and affordability. It's like they're trying to drag me back into the abyss of my 1911 addiction. A quality 2011 for a price that doesn't require a second mortgage on the house is a really big deal. Another huge plus for me is this gun is made in the USA and not imported from some country that you can't even find on the map. All of that is exactly what makes the Apollo 11 from Live Free Armory such an appealing offering. For those unfamiliar with a 2011, I'd like to welcome you back from your coma and glad to have you back with us. But a 2011 basically preserves everything that we all love about the 1911 and eliminates everything we hate. It essentially separates the 1911 design into three major parts from the original two, making the grip module its own part but allowing it to accept double-stack magazines. You will still have that great trigger, very little travel, very short reset, the classic looks and feel of the John Moses Browning masterpiece, the 1911. However, the limited capacity is now gone, with the ability to accept double-stack magazines, increasing the standard capacity in the 2011. Big win for the fat boys. You see, sometimes fatter is better. This is a 9mm, so a typical 9mm 1911 would have a capacity of 10 rounds, and the 2011 counterpart has a capacity of 17 rounds with a flush fit magazine, and you can exceed that with extended mags. One thing that I think is both innovative and really sets the Apollo 11 apart from some of the other 2011s I've had the chance to use is the grip is 3D printed. Now, I know some of you may be thinking that there's no way it'll be strong enough for a pistol grip, but I would beg to differ. Some of the best silencers available on the market today are 3D printed, so I'm sure this grip can take the toughest kung fu grip you can put on it. Also, I would argue the texture is better than most of the 2011 competitors out there. At least as far as I'm aware, this is the first 3D printed 2011 grip, and it is pretty impressive and innovative on its own, something I'd imagine you'll be seeing more of as time goes on. There is a fish scale texture that gives you a very positive slip-resistant grip and is aggressive without feeling like it's cutting into your palms. In my opinion, it is a much better texture than what comes with the Prodigy or even the Staccato. Also, while the grip is 3D printed, the mainspring housing is aluminum. This particular model is the compact version with a 4.15-inch barrel, but it does come in a full-size version as well with a full 5-inch barrel. The compact version is obviously going to be shorter and a little bit lighter, making it more concealable. However, this gun still has way more steel than any of the plastic Fantastics, with a weight of 32.6 ounces. That weight does transfer into a gun that is very enjoyable to shoot as it eats up the recoil. We had a great time putting the Apollo 11 through its paces. Recoil is very light and manageable. Accuracy was also very good for a compact pistol. The trigger is very good. Almost all 1911 based hammer-fired triggers are. Just the slightest amount of take-up, clean, crisp break, and a short reset. Mine is pulling right at about 4.5 pounds. Also, the trigger is metal, unlike the Staccato that still has a plastic trigger. The Apollo 11 does come with an optics cut, and it is the RMSC footprint, which is the smaller shield style footprint. This will give you a more streamlined frame to optic transition. There won't be any hangover where the frame goes to the optic, a potential snag point because the 1911 slides are slimmer than the base of, say, an RMR. However, this somewhat limits your choices for optics. Also, these optics are going to typically have smaller windows than their larger counterparts. Someone out there may be making a plate that goes from RMSC to RMR, but if you want the nice flush fit on your Apollo 11, it is going to be in the RMSC footprint. More optics are being made in this footprint all the time. I got the Sealy Optics Cat Pro X, and I will say we had some issues with the battery right out of the box. But once I changed this out, it has been solid ever since. So far, it seems like a nice budget-friendly dot. You'll also get a fully supported bull barrel, ambi safeties, high visibility front sight with tritium for night, and a full-length steel guide rod. All really nice features, definitely not expected on a gun that costs less than $1,000. It's not a huge thing, but I love it anytime a gun manufacturer gives you something in the packaging that you'll actually use. And the Apollo 11 comes in a Savior Soft pistol case. This case is so nice. Plenty of protection for your pistol, place to keep extra mags, and even more room beyond that. Very nice addition and a huge surprise, especially at this price point. This is a phenomenal gun for the money and a great way for a lot more people to get into the 2011 world, which is pretty much dominated by some very pricey offerings. Would I say this is as good as something like a Staccato? No, I probably wouldn't go that far, but what you get for your hard-earned dollar is astonishing with the Apollo 11, and I would say some features like the grip texture, I do prefer the Apollo over the Staccato. As far as reliability, we had a couple malfunctions early and a couple towards the end of the 1,000 rounds that I would chalk up to breaking in and then the gun in desperate need of a cleaning. I would say that overall the gun was extremely reliable. One note I will make is it kinda does not like the Prodigy Duramag magazines. We did notice a few oddities when using those mags. It had 100% function with the included mags, Staccato mags, and older STI mags, which is probably the same thing as the Staccato, but that's what I had on hand to test with. It has proven to be far more reliable than my Springfield Prodigy, but just talking to some people on the internet with the Prodigy, you either get a good one or a not so good one, and it would appear my personal Prodigy is the latter. For 99% of consumers, I would say that this is absolutely a phenomenal 2011 and I'm extremely fond of mine. That being said, to get to this price point, there are definitely MIM parts inside or metal injection molding. For the guy who really wants to get this gun to the next level, you could de-MIM it. Go through and replace all those parts, essentially bulletproofing it or future-proofing it from any potential problems. There are videos about this on YouTube and it has become a popular thing to do with the Prodigy. For me, and as I said, 99% of the other people, I don't think that's an issue and I'll probably leave it as is. I probably will be looking into de-MIMing my Prodigy because it does have issues. But the Apollo 11 has run like a top for me and I'm very excited to have an affordable 2011 that performs well in my collection. If a 2011 is something you are looking into and you don't want to spend more than you did on your first car, the Live Free Armory Apollo 11 is an exceptional choice in my opinion that offers a ton of features for a very easy to deal with price. A huge thank you goes out to Callaway Ballistics for providing all of the 9mm that we shot in this video. Go by and check them out and remember the code Alabama will get you free shipping on orders over $200. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because as always we have some really big reviews in the works that you won't want to miss. If you want to know what those reviews are way before they hit the YouTube channel, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter where you can see what's being reviewed in real time. And by the way, check the links in the description. There you can find some cool stuff that I found and the best deals on it. If you want to help support Alabama Arsenal, the absolute best way to do that is through Patreon. These videos can be surprisingly expensive to make, and every little bit helps and is greatly appreciated. There's also Alabama Arsenal gear available right below the video if you want to go out and represent. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching.